Fire gave you ignition, water gave you depth, air gave you breath, earth gave you ground. But there's one more element, the one you can't hold in your hands, yet it holds all the others. Ether is the space between, the field that connects, the whisper that tells you which step comes next. It's the lens you look through before you decide, the soul in the system, the tide in the guide. When you start from alignment, the rest just clicks into place. Your flow finds its channel, your vision, its space. So let's pull back the curtain on the one you can't see, the element that's been shaping your path quietly. In this series, we've moved so far through fire, through water, through air, and through earth. And each one of these four basic elements is an essential part of how you run your business, how you tend your money, and how you live in your fullest expression and deepest alignment with the natural forces that surround and animate you. But there's one element that isn't on the traditional wheel of tangible matter, and yet it's the one that gives meaning to all the rest. In this series, ether comes last, but in practice, it comes first. It is the foundation that we start anything from in my world through the starline method. We come down through the top, even if we only see its influence once the other pieces are in motion. It's the one that we tune into to set the stage for everything that comes after. Ether in the starline method is your cosmic alignment. It is the root frequency source from above, from around, and from within that you are uniquely designed to live and create from. It's the piece that turns systems, structures, and strategies, all that more 3D dense stuff, into something that actually feels like you and resonates with the way you were designed. Without it, the other elements can still function, but they feel more like work. Whereas when you start here with your cosmic codes, the work feels lighter. The flow feels more natural. It's like flowing with the path of least resistance when it comes to how energy is designed to move through you. And the results become inevitable. Whatever you're working toward naturally manifests because you are working in alignment with the magic of your design. In this episode, we're going to talk about why starting with cosmic alignment changes the game for everything else, how ether weaves the other four elements into one coherent flow, the difference between chasing alignment and creating from it, how to recognize when you're out of alignment and how to come back, and why your cosmic blueprint is the ultimate business plan. First up, let's talk about why starting with cosmic alignment changes the game for everything else, and why it is the starting point for any work that you do with me inside of Cosmic BizWitch. Because most people go the other way, building from the outside in, starting with the 3D systems, the examples from other people, the learning what already works, and hoping that alignment will follow simply because you're a part of it. My approach to the ether element alongside all the rest completely flips that on its head. We start from the frequency you are designed for as a non-negotiable filter, and we build everything else to match that. Your cosmic alignment informs so many things. There are cosmic codes that we can look to in your astrology chart, that snapshot of the energetic matrix that imprinted on you the moment that you took your first breath, and reflects a map of how energy is designed to move through you and ground into your reality. We can look at which risks you thrive on, how you naturally generate momentum, the environments and relationships that bring out the best in you and the business that you're running. The list goes on. We can literally look to your chart to better understand how you are uniquely designed to do absolutely anything that you might have seen so many other examples of how other people are doing the thing. The thing is, it is not as simple as just putting us into 12 boxes. Yes, there are the 12 signs of the zodiac. This is going to be a bit of a simplification, but it's helpful to illustrate the point. Say there are 12 planets and points and different things in your chart that we want to look at as these reflections of parts of you. That's 12. We'll call that 12. And then let's say we want to look at the combination of those in each sign. That's 12 times 12 is 144 different combinations. And then we want to take it a step further and look at the 12 houses that those might be in times another 12. That's 1,728 combinations. But we actually don't stop there. When we look at your cosmic codes, we take that into consideration, but we also look at something called rulership, and none of these codes exist in a vacuum. We also look at them in the context of your whole chart and the relationships between them, known as aspects. Your cosmic codes are truly a unique fingerprint. When you tune in to the right ones at the right times to support you with the right areas of your business, and you build from this place, everything that you create is an extension of and an expression of you. The whole system of elements, those other four, they don't have to fight your natural flow. They're able to flow right along with you. This is how ether weaves the other four elements into one coherent flow that makes sense for you in a way that it would not make sense for anybody else. Every element needs the authentic expression of and consideration of your cosmic codes in your astrology chart. Fire without ether can burn out. Everything just feels forced. Water without ether can drown in distracting emotions because all the symptoms of misalignment emotionally get in the way. Air without ether can spiral into overthinking because there are so many potential options. Earth without ether can become rigid, lifeless, and boring where it just feels like a chore. Ether is the integrator. It turns each element into its best, most thriving version and keeps them all in harmony together. In money flow terms, it's what ensures that you're earning, you're saving, you're spending, you're investing, all of the different directions of movement that your money brings life force energy into in your business all are able to move together and move toward the same purpose. Ether really is that je ne sais quoi that would be hard to put our finger on, and ultimately we will never be able to, but we can use your astrology chart as a tool to get pretty dang close to. And of course, you take it from there. Because as far as I use the tool of astrology, it's never to blow your mind at anything that you hadn't heard before. It's more to shine the spotlight on those subtler whispers that maybe have been overpowered by so many other influences that have been in your ear. Let's talk about the difference between chasing alignment when you're constantly seeking and trying to find what works for you, instead of creating from it and what it feels like to start there with your cosmic alignment. Chasing alignment looks like trying every new strategy or system because you see what works for other people and you want to try it all on for size for yourself, which, let's be honest, never really works. Maybe there's a high at first of the novelty of the new approach, but they never truly feel sustainable and you are on to trying the next thing soon after. This is energetically exhausting, time consuming, and not to mention actually expensive if you're hopping from course to course to course. It can look like constantly tweaking your offers to get them just right or find your thing in a way that just feels like an endless experimentation instead of getting closer to and refining and circling around, but moving in the direction of that core truth of what you were designed to offer and how you were designed to show up to offer it. Or it can look like waiting for perfect circumstances before starting because you can feel that your approach just isn't right. Oftentimes, procrastination is caused by this without you even realizing it because a part of you knows why even get started on something that's going to be a waste of your time. Sure, you're going to learn something. You are going to ultimately get closer to what's right for you by realizing what's not, but something in you intuitively knows that that is not the efficient way to get there, so you don't even take the first step. Maybe this means you're stuck doing things in a way that you kind of hate, right? You don't even want to bother going on that path of discovering through endless trial and error what's yours. On the flip side, creating from alignment looks like clear, consistent action that actually feels natural for you. You can tell when doing something feels right. You can tell because it feels like I was made for this. You know that feeling. There are areas in your life where you feel that way. And if it's not your business, it's time to start using the cosmic codes in your chart to go right there. It's like a shortcut. They're kind of like cheat codes, but is it really cheating if they're just there and so easy for us to look at? I don't think so. It ends up looking like offers and systems that grow with you, that feel like an authentic expression of you at the time of their conception, and then kind of take you for a ride of knowing exactly how to adapt and improve them because it's mirroring your own process of growth and adaptation and improvement. In this way, your business ends up being this vehicle that is a reflection of your growth, like a mirror is able to show it to you to help illuminate it for you from a different angle. And let me tell you how much more fun your work becomes when it's set up like this. It looks like trusting your timing and knowing what's yours to do right now. So if you have been experiencing feeling like you're behind, or sometimes feeling like you're spinning your wheels, or whatever misalignment to right timing, if things just feel off, or if you just feel like there's so many things you don't really know what you should be working on right now, these are all symptoms of misalignment and ultimately chasing but missing alignment. Whereas creating from that rooted source space of alignment with yourself and your design means knowing that you are right where you need to be and that whatever feels right for you right now feels right, but also is situated as part of an awareness of a bigger plan that you're able to tune into. You trust it. You trust that whatever is being placed right in front of you, you can give that your all. And if you keep doing that and giving your attention and presence to that thing in front of you over and over, ultimately, each of those things are part of and supporting that greater vision and that greater cause. And everything is supporting the momentum in that direction. Looking at it from this angle, ether isn't something you get. It wants to be something that you start from. That special something, that special sauce that animates you. If this is all sounding really great, but you're also realizing that you have been building your business without a clear connection to your cosmic alignment, and that's got you realizing that you've been doing it the hard way and that things are feeling off because of this missing piece, let's change that. Plan with the Planets is my $7 guide to syncing your weekly workflow with the planetary days. And this is such a great place to start to bring in the cosmic forces into your workflow, into your business, into your life, all starting with bringing it into your real-time workflow. The 7 days of the week are associated with 7 planets. So for just $1 a day, you can dial in when to take inspired action, when to handle details, when to make big decisions, and when to rest. Basically, structure all of the things that you already know you need to do in a week, but to move them around so that they align with a natural cycle of time that is much, much older than we are, a way that the ancients used to align with the planets that just feels right. I'll give you the example that Monday is Moon Day, and the world tells us that as the first day of the work week, we should hit the ground running, right? It's the day to be on fire and start your week. When really, Monday Moon Day wants to be the day that you align with the moon and you get everything in place to feel prepared, to calm your nervous system, and to feel ready to take on your week. To then hit the ground running Tuesday with Mars Day, which is how this world defines Monday. In any case, and suffice it to say, it's all so backwards with how we've been taught. So this guide, Plan with the Planets, will get you reoriented to the natural days of the week so that you can begin your relationship with the cosmic forces of these planets. You can go get that guide at cosmicb.link/planwithplanets. And at checkout, you can also add your cosmic team, which is a private 7-day immersion with me where you'll meet your inner cosmic team, your unique relationship to each of these 7 planets that correspond to each of the days of the week, so that you can learn intimately how to work with each of them for maximum flow, clarity, and aligned action. Inside a private Telegram container, you'll get daily voice notes, which some people have described as their own personal private podcast, plus the spaciousness each day to integrate each of the planet's guidance together in real time. This is my central way to work with the cosmic forces in your birth chart to align your efforts with the ways you were designed inside your business. You can grab your Plan with the Planets guide and kick off your cosmic team experience if you are ready at cosmicb.link/planwithplanets. When it comes to alignment, of course, however, there are tools and there are practices that can support you to stay there more often, but it is not a place that any of us humans live in all the time. Now let's look at how to recognize when you're out of alignment and how to come back. Because ultimately, it's a kind of muscle that we strengthen, although just as balanced with our capacity to surrender and receive. Here's some signs that you might be out of alignment. If everything feels like pushing something uphill, stuff just feels forced, it doesn't feel easy, it feels like everything takes up way more effort than really makes sense, and by the end of the day, you are just exhausted. When you're in flow, even doing is energizing. So if you're feeling drained, you might be out of alignment. Another is if you find yourself saying yes out of fear, not desire. Making choices because you're afraid of what the alternative might mean, or making moves to try and mitigate against something that you're worried about, instead of making choices, making moves because it feels in alignment. I know you're not supposed to use the word with the definition, but because it feels in sync with the direction that you're actually going and the desires that support that positive, forward moving, growth oriented direction. Another sign might be that the money's coming in, but it doesn't feel satisfying. This one is so common. As a tax preparer, I worked with so many people that were actually making good money, but they didn't feel like they ever had anything to show for it. They had just as much going out. And at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, they had nothing extra. There was no overflow for a savings account or investments or their future or anything else that they wanted to flow money to. It's really a matter of quality over quantity when it comes to the money stuff and alignment. When you're aligned, it feels like things are coming in to move through you to water and fund and fertilize everything that matters to you. Whereas when you're out of alignment, it really doesn't matter how much money is coming in. It's never going to feel like enough, and it's never going to feel satisfying. If you notice that you're there, if it feels like you are striving, trying, forcing, pushing uphill, if you find yourself being motivated more from fear or worry or what you don't want instead of from desire and inspiration and what you're working toward, and if it doesn't matter how much money is coming in, things just feel off. Let these be signals to you that it's time to come back into alignment, which, by the way, is not about fixing what's wrong, but rather about retuning yourself. I suggest when you notice this is happening that you slow down and reconnect with your values. Such a big part of what connects us with who we are, with our truth, with our center, is what we uniquely value. That's not going to be the same as everybody else. If you're misaligned, it might be because you've been operating under someone else's value system, some influence that got into your head that made you think something was important that doesn't really matter to you the way that it does to the rest of the world. Revisit your big picture vision. Sometimes we just get into the weeds with stuff and we need to reconnect with our why, our sense of purpose, and the intention that is guiding and leading us forward. I'm not just talking about like quarterly goals. I'm talking about your bigger why that motivates you. Oftentimes, we fall out of alignment because we lose our connection to that. So take a moment and tune back into it. And of course, looking to your chart for current timing and focus points. I cannot tell you how many times things have just felt off to me, which as an astrologer, that's my cue. I am not always looking at my chart or tuning into the transits, but when things are not working and I just feel all the ways that I described in the signs you're out of alignment part of this conversation we just moved through, I'll end up pulling up my chart because I'm like, yo, what is happening? And something just jumps out at me and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how I'm out of alignment. A lot of times things have just shifted, right? We're not meant to be in the same place, the same time, all the time. Astrology shows us that there's a wheel of change and it's always turning. And alignment in one season is going to look very different to alignment in another. Our birth chart, the snapshot of the moment of that energetic imprint, shows us the kinds of themes that we will face our entire lifetime in this body and helps to reorient us toward the higher vision, the ideal embodiment of each of those parts of us so that they can work together to help us be and become the version of ourself that is the most satisfied, the most fulfilled, and feels the most aligned. Ultimately, alignment is it feels right to me. It feels right to me right now. And my actions, my behaviors, and my thoughts are all in congruence with that which feels right to me and to me right now. All of these things are in agreement. This leads us to why your cosmic blueprint is the ultimate business plan. Your chart is going to help you get out of sticky, misaligned times in your life, help to retune and reorient you toward what feels like flow and gets you where you want to go. But also, as business owners, our business is a vehicle for us to do all of this, right? We're not just in it for money. We're in it to be able to grow, to become more of our potential, and to be able to show up in service in the ways that we were designed to. That's why being aware of your astrology as the CEO and central force in your business, I define CEO as central energy organizer. You are the center of your business. And that's why your chart is so helpful to be successful, to feel fulfilled internally, externally, inside of your business, because your chart holds your natural rhythm, your motivators, your growth edges, your communication styles, the people that you're meant to impact, so many things that matter in business. And it also shows the seasons of your business life unfolding, when to plant, when to build, when to harvest, and when to rest. This is the cycle that we repeat over and over and over again, that our business also wants to be able to have the spaciousness to move through. When it comes to the money stuff, building your money practice and your overall business strategies on this foundation means you never have to be out of sync with yourself to show up for your business. This is Ether's true gift. It makes every action, every piece of work that you do an expression of your original design. Ether is the thread, it is the hum under the music, the current beneath the waves. It is what holds every other element together and what holds you in your truest expression through the vehicle of your business. Which is why when you start here, everything else has a place to land and knows exactly where to go. Your business, your money flow, your vision, all of it gets organized around the magic of the fingerprint of your unique design. If you're ready to work with your cosmic alignment every single day of every single week, let your business be an altar of those expressions moving through you, download Plan with the Planets now at cosmicb.link/planwithplanets and step into your cosmic team for the experience of deep connection to your personal planetary allies on this journey. This concludes the Elemental series. If you missed any, you can go back. The 5 truly weave together to create the full picture of what it looks like for witchy, magical, creative souls to be building businesses that feel just as aligned with your vision for success as your spiritual nature that's running the whole show and sent you here in the first place. Here's to your passion, your connection, your spaciousness, and your grounding, all held together by the magic of your unique design. May your business be as successful as it is fulfilling as you make your way through all of the seasons of your growth that it's here to deliver you through.